What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Real Reds Talk. You're live with me and my brother Civir. We're going to be discussing the pre-season tour as Man United officially head to America. Laurie Whitwell has also released a couple of bits around a left-sided centre-back. Rasmus has a new number. Will he fulfil the potential? We've got a second bid incoming for McTominay, and all the reaction basically to pre-season, the little intricate bits. But before we get into that, Civir, I wanted to ask you one question just to kick us off and kind of fire start the whole topic. If you was to take a team on pre-season, what country would you go to and why?
Go America. To be honest.
So America would be your choice as well?
Yeah, I'll go America. It's just the first thing that comes to mind. Just to reach out to those fans. If we're trying to sell jerseys and stuff, yeah, I think we, with all the media and everything, I couldn't think of anywhere else. Like where would you go? Asia or something?
Well, I don't know, because I'd be thinking about like hot weather training and how much you could push him and what's going to get that absolute maximum out of these players. Do we think? I think America. Yeah. I don't know why with me I just instantly think of like commercializing sponsors and kits, and it's obviously what they want because they make a shitload of money. But for me personally, I just want to focus on the football, take them somewhere where they can just, no exterior noise, just, you know what I mean, drill these fucking tactics into him. That's what I'd want personally.
But we're Man United. We need to make that money.
It's true. Yeah, it's true.
That's what it is. Yeah, we need to make that money. Snapdragon, American company.
I think so.
I think they are. Because they've got like a Snapdragon Stadium somewhere.
They certainly sound it, don't they? Like if it's Snapdragon, it sounds very, very American when you say it like that. So yeah, I presume so, but I'm not sure. Sorry, I'm just double checking my connection whilst we're live because it's going a little bit weird. We'll dive into it and then I can look into it whilst we're talking about that. So the official pre-season travelling squad, Civir. We've got Heaton, Onana, Vitek, and me. Amas, Bennett, Evans, Fish, Lindelof, Maguire, Murray, Wan-Bissaka, and Yoro. Casemiro, Collier, Ericsson, Hannibal, Fletcher, Mather, McTominay, Mount, Odiele, and Scanlon, who I've never heard of before in my life. And then Anthony, Ahmad, Hojlund, Rashford, Sancho, and Wheatley. Any surprises on there for you? Any youngsters you're looking forward to see? What have you thought of the first initial kind of fixtures that we've seen so far?
No surprises to be honest. All the youngsters that I was hoping to get a glimpse of are on there, so that's great.
Yeah.
Scanlon, I have heard of Scanlon as well. What is Fletcher going?
Jack Fletcher. Is a Fletcher on there? I don't know which Fletcher it is. It doesn't say.
Probably Jack.
I'm guessing so.
Yeah. So him as well. Performances so far. The first game, everyone knows, was just for fitness. I know people were going crazy about, we lost to some Norwegian team. It's just a fitness thing. I wasn't bothered at all. It was a boring watch, but it was just for players to run and all that kind of stuff. Second game was more impressive. I was quite happy with that one as well. I was happy with the first half performance. Second half, I understand, it's kids. It was men against boys. That's literally like kids against the men. It's good. And I was quite happy that he didn't mix the teams. Like it wasn't like some of the experienced players with the youngsters. Because I think it's important for youngsters to know what it feels like when you play against men. Yes. They don't have that much time on the ball. Like Oyedele kept getting caught on the ball. And it's not like he's not a good player. It's just that, when you play with your mates, you think you have enough time on the ball. But the men are a lot quicker, get it off you, all that kind of stuff. So it's good for them to play with the men. It's pre-season, so it's not too serious. And we still scored in that one, so that was great. Who am I looking forward to seeing? Did you ask that?
Yeah, go for it. Anyone who's anyone at all.
I don't remember the names you read out, but are any of the new signings on there? Is
Yoro is going, Xerxes, however, is not. Will not be on there.
So naturally,
little bit of a shame in it, because when you talk about like that, they're the periods for coaches where they can really work on the tactical stuff in it. So the fact that he's not in there, you kind of like, it's a bit gutting, because we all said from last season, I think it was, we only had, who was on, was it Onana or was it Mount?
I think Ericsson. No, sorry, not Ericsson. Last season, it
Mount,
was just Onana.
Matt was the first player through the door, but I don't know if he signed with like an injury or something. I can't really remember.
He was injured.
Right, yeah. So there's only one player on our preseason tour, and what we said prior to this was, oh, it'd be nice to get a couple in there, you know, so we can work with them and stuff, because it just feels very laggy for me going into it. You look at the players that aren't with us. I mean, Mainu, Shaw, Garnacho, Martinez, Bruno, Diallo, Xerxes, like we said, and Palistra, depending what happens with him as well. Like, that's quite a big chunk of the first team squad.
It's annoying because of the Euros, the international football. It's annoying, but you know, it's one of them ones where you can't really risk it. To be fair, like bringing them in, they need their time off as well. So yeah, it's just you just have to get on with it. To be fair, like we're not the only ones who are going to suffering that. Like a lot of clubs would have a preseason without some of their top players. So I think that's it's just something we have to live with, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is what it is.
It's one player that's been mentioned that I'm sure a lot of people were kind of looking out for was Tyrell Malacia, and he's not been included in Ten Hag's 29-man squad to take part in the tour. Apparently, he's absent from the squad as he continues his rehabilitation from injury. I've never known anything like this, Civir. A guy out for this long, especially how young. I mean, we're not talking about Johnny Evans here or someone like that. He's, how old Malacia? 20? Something like that? It's crazy, isn't it?
It's mad. Like, when I think of some like our worst injury-prone players, I mean, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had surgery on his knee. It kept him out for a while. Still, he wasn't out for a whole season and a half or whatever. Nah, I've never. Even when Luke Shaw broke his leg, he was
he went out for that long though when he fucking I don't think. Like, from
I don't know what's going on. I don't know if he has a future at United. Obviously, I wish him the best, and I hope he can recover and come back. But I don't know if he has a future, and it's one of them ones where are they hiding something? Like, what's going on? We really don't know what's going on. I don't know if you do.
No, it's just the kind of thing is just like the emphasizing. Oh, it's his knee. It's rehabilitation. And then we're seeing reports like, oh, he's back on the grass now. He's ready to go. And we get like not hopes up because he's still a young prodigy. He's still a young left back. He's not like a first teamer. But because of what happened last season, you need someone to bank on and someone to rely on. And you're looking at that left back slot at a minute, and you're like, none of them really. Can we both go into this season full of confidence saying we're gonna have a fully fit left back? That's the issue.
No. I mean, not from the senior squad. If we're trying to get in one of Mori or Anas, one of them, then maybe. But that's not competitive enough. Like we need a competitive, And it's so at the end of July now. I don't see him coming back before October with the way things are going. Like, I don't see him back to full fitness before October. And that's like how many months into the new season.
So the last time he played was last year, June, the 14th of June, because I was researching this a few weeks back, and it's for the Netherlands in like a friendly, or it might have been the Nations League or something. That was the last time he played. So
how long is his contract for?
It's a good point, isn't it? Like, God no. Well, he signed. He was one of the first signings when Ten Hag came in, in terms of like the first window. So I'm guessing they usually sign 4 or 5 year contracts or 4 with an extension or whatever it is. So he's a good few years into it now. I would suggest. I'm just gutted for him, man. You can't help but feel the human side of it, can you? Really, in those situations, like, look, obviously he's being paid a lot. People will always throw that around. But he would obviously be dying to play football on the pitch, especially when you see a window open for young players. It's very rare when you get a chance to really, how Marcus got his debut, basically. Because Shaw's been out, so it's like, that could have been...
That could have been, exactly.
Yeah.
And then now he's probably going to be worried. Obviously, he has to be worried because we're going to have to replace him, sadly. And he's going to have to fight for his place. And then if we replace him with someone competent, that's it for him. So.
But then who do you sign? Do you sign if you're going to go buy a left back now? Let's say you're the manager, you're in charge. Do you go sign like a very good one, or do you sign someone who's like a Region, or do you sign someone a bit cheap like an Alonso? Or
to be fair, it depends on the budget I'm given, but I'll go for the best I can get for the budget I have. I really like the sound I'm hearing about the Turkish guy.
Yeah, Diallo, because he can play both sides, can't
he?
Exactly.
Yeah, he plays everywhere. Apparently,
yeah.
I watched some review, and then there was a guy that did like made like a list of all the positions, but he's played literally everywhere apart from goalkeeper. So yeah, I mean, it's sad, but we have to move on. Like, we can't just keep waiting and then signing someone who's just going to be a stopgap. No, we have to move on. And even if Malacia was fit, I'll still be looking for like the best left back that I can get for this new sort of revamp that we're having. I think that's it for him. I think that's it for him because I think if we go out and get a quality left back, he's going to have to fight his way back into the team. And I don't know how possible that would be, especially if him and Shaw are competing. I think that's it for him, to be honest.
Yeah.
Sadly.
Yeah. No, but football is a cutthroat business, isn't it? As we know. Look at Donny van der Beek, arrived as a Ballon d'Or shortlist nominee and then left as a £500,000 player.
I'm praying that he plays really well. I want him to do well. I'm really, really hoping it clicks for him at Girona, honestly.
Likewise. I'm going to go to the comments because there's quite a few. Sorry about the start of the video with the network. There was a little bit of issues, but it seems to be sorted now. So, yeah, I do apologise about that. But there's loads in the chat, which is always lovely to see. Let me know your thoughts and feelings on pre-season going into this. Are you excited or are you just expecting kind of flat performances and the real business will kind of start when we play City in the Community Shield or whatever? Kid Junior saying Yoro with a Flames mark. He's obviously excited about Yoro being on the tour. Brian saying I'd stay in Europe, maybe Spain or Italy, similar time zone, hot weather. That's for his choice of pre-season if he was to take a country on tour. Take a team on tour. McMillan says Eric Ten Hag hates these USA tours. That's what I mean. Like from last season, it did seem a bit of a ball ache, didn't it? They're everywhere. Honestly.
Yeah. I was just talking from a commercial point of view, but obviously, like you guys are clearly more sensible than I am.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It depends. Punch Paint says, I know San Diego State plays there. I'm not sure.
Snapdragon.
Snapdragon. Right. Okay. Sorry, I'm kind of like reading these out of context, so I'm just trying to... Richard's in the chat saying, evening. HMJ says, Mount played last preseason, so did Onana. It's Hojlund that was injured. Yeah, but didn't Onana...
Oh, no. He's right. Do you remember that goal that he misses?
Oh,
Sancho squares it up to him, and then it's like an open. Yeah, he's right. Mount played.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Just the maddest thing ever. Last pre-season, do you remember the Wrexham game? Do you remember that one where they played like the second string on pre-season?
Did we lose that one, or was it a draw?
we lost, and I did the watch along at Paddock for it, and it was at 6 in the morning or 3 in the morning.
Oh shit! Yeah, I remember that.
And I came out of the studio at 6 in the morning, and I was like, oh, fucking hell. I'm never, ever doing
remember
that
again. Collier had a good game. I think Collier played that.
Yeah.
I remember that, yeah.
Steph saying, big up Nick and Jimmy. That's your new name. Jimmy. Yeah, that's your new name now. It's just, it sticks. Me and Jimmy are going to create our own show, have our own flagship show every week. Nick and Jimmy. Love it. Fletcher was out for United nearly 2 years with his stomach issues. Is that Darren Fletcher?
Yeah, Darren Fletcher.
Was it?
Yeah, he had IBS. That's true. Yeah.
All right.
He had IBS. Yeah, it was bad. It was quite embarrassing sometimes, but it was really bad. And he was out. Yeah, that's true. He was out for 2 years.
That poor hygiene rating chicken starting to make more and more sense now, isn't it? Richard, the old medical team have a lot to answer for over Tyler. On Malacia. T2 to Izzo says Ahmad has pace, trickery, and skill. Seems to have put on a bit more timber over the summer as well. This could be his breakout season. Let's talk about Ahmad. Let's pause on that for a moment, and then I'll read out some few more comments because I am in particular excited to see this kid. Obviously scored the goal against Rangers, his old Leny team, in the last game. He's got to nail down that right-hand side now, hasn't he? Surely.
Starter.
Has to be.
Like on the right. Yeah, starter. No one else. It's him. Depending on what happens it's him and then whoever is next. Either Anthony or Sancho, if he's still here. And then Marcus Rashford and Garnacho on the left. And then Xerxes and Hojlund up front. But it's Ahmad to start 100%. I think Ten Hag said that after the game, he said something about this is Ahmad's season or something. Yeah. I mean, he has to be, man. Like, if you look at all the performances he's had, all the appearances he's had, and the way that games, how many of them were really good performances? He's had way more appearances with good performances. So yeah, I think we need to see that. And I think with Ineos coming in now, and with the pressure under Ten Hag, I think Ten Hag doesn't have time for experimenting anymore. I think he knows that he can't fuck about anymore. He has to play his best players. He has to play his best performing players. And Ahmad literally is the one right now. So yeah, it's Ahmad's season.
His main go-to though last season was Rashford, Hojlund, Garnacho, wasn't it? Garnacho on the right, especially like post Villa game, because I think that was the first time Garnacho played there on the right hand side, and obviously scored 2 goals against him, and then continues to play there. But you always want competition regardless, so I'm happy he's got that headache in terms of selection across the front line. I don't know if he's willing to put that much faith in Ahmad. I hope he is, in terms of, because he always plays Rashford, doesn't he? He just has this like stickler, like, oh, it'll happen, and if that doesn't happen again, it's a detriment to the team in that sense.
A lot of times last season, I gave Ten Hag the benefit of the doubt. I kept saying, he's going to change this, he's going to change that. He never did. But then he had Ten Hag's position at the time, last season was like he had a lot of power, in quotes, like, he made he was a lot, he made a lot of decisions, he had a lot of power.
Too much.
I don't think he has that. Yeah, I don't think he has that much now. And I think he would have very little patience for bad performances. So if Marcus Rashford puts up any more of the stinkers like he was doing, I don't think he's going to have that much free reign on there. And when you have people like Garnacho jumping at the bits, if you know Garnacho is the one that's ready to take the position, you have to step up. So I just hope that he encourages the competition. I really hope he does. But we have to see Ahmad starting. We've seen Pelistri start. We've seen fucking Forcing. We've seen, we need to see Ahmad deserves a run. And he has to make that happen now. So I know now as well, like Ten Hag isn't he had Van der Gaal and the other guys, they were all like yes men. Now he's got room. Now he's got the other guy. Like these aren't like yes men. Like they would, make I just hope that they're influential in his decision making, because he suffered a lot from bad decisions last year. So let's see what happens.
Absolutely. What's mad to think is you've got 150 million quid's worth of talent. That's third choice wingers for us. Really, when you think about, because Ahmad is no doubt from last season, from the second half of the season at least, he's above Anthony and Sancho, just given the situation, circumstances, whatever it is. I'm not saying in terms of ability. So that's a lot of, the wages as well, combined £500,000 a week, both going to be sat there. That could become an issue in terms of squad harmony, trying to keep everyone, happy, and is there going to be enough games? And like one of them, Anthony or Sancho, is gonna have to, surely.
Both at some point, like both. At some point, both of them will go. The only reason they're still here is just because it's going to be hard to shift them. That's the truth. It's just going to be hard to shift them with all the other positions that we are prioritizing at the moment. But yeah, both of them. It's too bad, but then that's what it is now. You're not going to play just because of the price tag. If you're not bringing anything to the team, then you really can justify a starting position. So it's this season now. is going to be, a defining season for a lot of players. For Anthony, for Sancho, for Ahmad to make his point, for Rashford to step up, Hojlund to step up. Like a lot of people really, really need to step up this season. It's going to be a defining point for them. So hopefully they take that and use that positively and, try and, just perform really, because there's no time for all that anymore. And we're going for it now. Yeah.
Absolutely agree with that. Just quickly on Rasmus, he received the new number 9 shirt, which I thought a lot of people were kind of losing their minds over. And I know some people are very, not spiritual. What's the right word I'm looking for?
I know the word. Fucking hell.
What word am I looking
Superstitious.
for? Superstitious. That's the one. Thank you very much. A lot of people are very superstitious with numbers and stuff. I personally don't give a fuck. Just, like Colbert, when he got offered his number, he was like, it is what it is. Give me 36.
That's a number.
But can he do that shirt justice, do you think? Especially you mentioned Rude coming in now. You've got that extra kind of intelligence in terms of, where to be and them kind of things. Is he the man, do you think? Has he shown you enough to believe in his potential?
I didn't even know until now that he got the number 9.
Number 9 shirt.
I didn't even hear about him until now. I mean, if we just had one of our worst seasons in years, and he comes off with 16 goals in a terrible season, right? And we're hoping to see a big improvement with all the people that we brought in, backroom staff and everything. Surely he has to do better this season in a much better environment. Now, with Rasmus, I almost said Rashford. With Rasmus,
I hope he don't play as a 9 next. I can't do that again. Jesus Christ. Man.
Yeah, no, with him, with Rasmus, I mean, he's come under a lot of criticism, a lot of fire. I think he's still raw. He's still young. I think he can develop into something tough. But football has changed now. Like it keeps changing. You don't really, apart from the odd Haaland and I don't know who else, you don't really get that 30 goal striker anymore in football now. It's now you'd see everyone contributing. It's the wingers. It's all three. So you look at Arsenal now. It's all three.
I was just going to mention Arsenal.
Yeah, the front three. They're all scoring. City, everyone's scoring. Whoever, all the other performers. So yeah, if I get 20 goals in all competitions, I'm happy. Yeah. If everyone else is contributing, if he's contributing to the way we play, like it's more like a team effort now. It's more possession-based football. There's more, team systems and all that. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't put too much pressure on him. Hopefully, the number doesn't put too much pressure on him, and he takes the challenge. But if I get 20 goals a season, I'm happy. Especially if everyone else is scoring. I'm not fussed, and I'm willing to give him a number of seasons to improve. Yeah, that's about it. As far as the number 9, he's probably going to sell jerseys. He's probably going to sell a lot.
Oh yeah, of course he will. Especially on this tour. I do think the expectation now is going to go up. He's had a season to bed in, much like Anthony. He had that kind of one-off a season because he's not too far away from Anthony's age. I don't think they're not.
No.
Both similar price tags, not too far away, 20 million or whatever it is. So I think the expectation will be a little bit higher, which might be tough or might be a little bit too much. But you're at United, you're number 9 at Manchester United. Think about some of the players that have wore that shirt. So obviously there's going to be huge pressure. And now you've got depth now. You've got rotation. Xerxes can come in there if he needs to. You can tweak the system slightly. And I think players like Ahmad, in particular, who's we're discussing, if you play him more or players of that prototype and Xerxes, he'll get a lot more service. So therefore, his stats should go up, goals, assists, etc. I hope so at least anyway, because I thought the service he got at times, especially I want to say like November, December time last season, there was a stat going about, wasn't there, that he'd been passed to 5 times in 5 games, and it's like scraps, quite literally living off scraps. If you put Haaland in that position, you're probably getting a similar output. So service likewise needs to be as good, but he also needs to step up his game. I think I'd probably agree with that. I want to go from attack to defence. Laurie Whitwell put something out before Jimmy about we're looking specifically at a left-sided centre-back, which I thought was interesting. Laurie's put this out because this comes following news about the lit that we put in the chat before about that going quiet now. Simon Stone saying not managed to reach a price, seems to have gone stale. Do you believe in that kind of balance theory? You know, Tanag always talks about it, doesn't he? Like, Lissandro's very important there. Shaw's very important there. But he likes Rabiot with, like, a left footer there as well. Would you be happy to go in for someone like a Branthwaite? And if we can't get Branthwaite, is there anyone else we should switch our attention to?
I'm not particularly fussed about who we get. But if we get a decent left-footed centre-back, then, yeah. I was watching something on Pep years ago, when he was talking about having players on the right, playing to their feet. And he was like, if you receive the ball, if you're right-footed and you receive the ball, if you're right-footed playing in the left-footed position, the way you receive the ball kind of dictates how the game is. Even some crazy, nerd football
opens
stuff.
Up lanes, doesn't it, and stuff?
It's
just science, isn't it? Natural.
Yeah, it was really nerdy, but it made sense, like the way he was saying it. And I think it makes sense. Why not? Like, unless you're going to get someone who's like ambidextrous, but you don't really find that in centre backs these days. Like, you can get players who are.
Do you want to learn something? Ambipedal, we call it. If you both footed. I think ambidextrous is both hands. I think ambipedal is where you both footed, because Branthwaite is ambipedal. I remember reading that.
Pedo or pedo?
Not pedo. Not. Definitely don't say that. It's not an ambipedo. Like pedal. Like
pedo. Or LE.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Ambipedal, not ambipedo. Do not call any centre back that, please. I believe that.
Speaking of which, that assist from Johnny Evans last season was with his left foot. Do you remember that? Where he floated?
Correct. Yeah. Burnley.
Well, yeah. Yeah, but anyway, just not to go on a tandem. To be honest, whoever we get, as long as we get a decent centre back who's left-footed, I'll be super happy. And Branthwaite, I've never really thought we were going to get him just because of the price tag, and I don't think Everton are going to balk at. And it's not like we have filled up other positions. Like, we need to buy other players. There's no way we're going to spend 75, 65
no chance
on another centre back. So I don't think that's going to happen. But yeah, we'll see. I'm not fussed.
I look at the bid that we put in for Diallo, and I'm like, was there any point at all putting that 25 plus 4 for Matheus Diallo? They are taking the piss with that. I mean, there's low balling.
They know what they're doing.
I know. Yeah. But like, you've got to be serious. That's like when you're on FIFA and you're like, fuck it, I'll just offer him something fucking stupid. Just see, like 25 plus 4 for Diallo is pretty ridiculous. If I was buying, I'd be laughing my head off at that.
No, I get it, but to be fair, I get it. Like, apart from that, like, we're sending out a message now. We're not the same Man United as before. People need to know this now, and all these teams need to know this. That we're not going under the Glazers. What do you think would have offered for? Sorry, not under the Glazers. Previously, yeah,
for Diallo, 60 million, easy, plus 10 in add-ons. I guarantee it. Yeah,
exactly. I'm like 250, right? Every week or something.
Yeah. Correct.
But then people need to know, because we understand the position of Bayern Munich right now. They need to sell to buy. They've got like 2 targets, I think, 2 centre-back targets.
Yeah.
They need this to happen. They're not hanging about, and we know this, and we have options. We can get him. I'm sure we've got quite a few other people that started already, so we have options. So we're not like under pressure to go and get Matheus. Yeah, we need a centre back, but he's not the only option, and they need to know this. And to be fair, why are we paying a large sum of money for one of your players who you don't want anymore?
Yeah,
he's not a starter. There's like 3 people ahead of him, and you expect us, and he's had a lot of injuries, and then he wants to leave as well. Then you expect us to bring like 50 mil. Fuck off, man.
Yeah, it's true.
So yeah. So we have to be smart about this. Like, we can't just be throwing money at all these clubs, and clubs need to know that we're not doing that anymore. So yeah, I'm I'm happy that we're just being arsy about it. Like, yeah, take it or leave it.
Yeah, I'm interested to see who they pivot to though. If they don't get Branthwaite and they don't get Diallo, I'm not sure they're going to go for.
Do you still think we'll get Brown? Or are you just hoping?
No, I genuinely, I concrete believe that we're not going to get him. Like, I think what's going to happen is he's going to be priced out of a move, because I don't think he's the type of guy to really push for a move either. I think he'll settle there for another. Because let's not forget, he's had one really good season for Everton. That's it. Yeah. Apart from that, he had loans at Blackburn, PSV. He was at Carlisle earlier on in his career. Like, this is his first established season in the Premier League. I think he's going to get another season under his belt, and then I think we're going to lose out because I think other clubs are going to be interested in him. I mean, maybe City need to replace like a Ruben Diaz or something like that. That's what I think is going to happen.
Is he left-footed?
Branthwaite, yeah, left-footed.
Right. So then there's going to be him and Sandro.
Well, that's what I was going to get on. So the dynamic of the centre backs, I don't know how they was. So if they get Diallo, I assume they would go Lissandro Maguire, because Maguire could play on that left side. And then they have Yoro and Diallo as the right centre back. But then if they got Branthwaite, you could play Branthwaite and Lissandro together, but I don't know, it's a bit of a mindfuck, to be honest with you. I don't know which way they're going to go, but regardless, whatever way they go, it's going to be interesting. I want to move on from centre-back talk because the show is getting on and there's loads of comments as well. I'm just going to quickly blitz through a couple. Let's have a look. Make sure you smash a like on the video, by the way, and subscribe to the channel. We're on 6,207 subs at the minute, on the road to 10k. So if you want to help us achieve that goal, then please do. McMillan saying Hojlund getting 20+ goals in all comps and Xerxes bags 10+ and 10 assists. Then we sweet as rain. Brian saying Marshall wore it, so the bar is low at the moment. It's a good point. It's a good point. Yeah. Is there an FPL league this season? There's not going to be an FPL league this season because we start it, about 300 odd people join it, and then 299 people don't commit to it. So it's just not doing it. Just not doing it. If there's enough interest, enough people want to do it, maybe we'll set up like a small one, but for members or whatever. Richard saying pedal, not pedo. Thanks for that, Richard. Delit was dead in the water once Yoro come. Delit is on starter wages and was interesting on Yoro, innit? Let's just talk about him for a second. I don't want to be that guy who just fucking over eggs the pudding when I see one performance, but I have to admit with Yoro, there's a lot I like there. I know he's 18. I know he's got bigger challenges coming up. But he may come up against your seasoned strikers and your Fulkrugs and your Glenn Murrays and these kind of ones who give you a bit of a scene to. But I don't know about you, Chiva. I think he seems fucking legit, Yoro.
He's 18, bro.
Yeah, that's the mad thing.
He's 18. So what? In 5 years, he would be what? Fucking 23. So and he's been, so I get your point. Like, I don't want to get carried away by just one half of football, obviously. But then there's you see the signs. You see the signs. And I think what makes me a little bit more calm about this is he's coming into a team that's going to be a little bit more settled than before. If he was coming into this team 3 years ago, I'd be worried because he's coming into just a fucking patch up of.
Well, we wouldn't have got him a few years ago, would we?
Yeah. But then he's coming in next to Lissandro. He's going to have Clubby in front of him. Possibly, if we get another experienced midfielder in front of him, he gets protection, right? He's got really good wingers. He likes to spot a pass. Every pass he made in that first half, I don't know if I was putting it in the chat. Every single pass he made was like connected, and it was always the right decision every time. Yeah. It's Rangers, I know, guys. I know it's Rangers. It's one half of football. You can only go what you see by what you see. And based on from what I saw, and based on all, because I've told you guys so many times, I don't know about him. I don't know anything about him. Never saw him, But based on what people are saying, and you weigh that up, you leverage that with what you saw. Obviously, you've got some quality there. So it's going to be. Yeah, he's 18. Like this years and years to improve. Were you going to talk about his wage bill? His salary.
Your salary.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to talk about it, no, but if you can.
All right. Okay.
I don't even know.
No, because we're talking about. I think we're talking about salaries, and then you went into euros. So I thought that's where you were going.
Ah, right.
Because some people Yeah, because I did see a few people going on about he's on, some people just go he's on 180 and he's on
110 in
114
it.
or something.
Yeah.
110,
I thought
some crazy like that. Which, yeah, for his name, yeah, why not?
Yeah, I mean, this Madrid bought him, so you kind of had to wiggle room a little bit for that deal, and I'm not for when you have a talent like that who's got the fucking world at his feet. I mean, he already reminds me of like a Saliba and Van Dijk kind of prototype. I'm not saying he's the same player right now, but the prototype, what we're going to get from him, it looks very, very interesting, and I can't wait to see how he develops. Yeah, let's dive into this last story then. Appreciate everyone live. I'm trying to get through things as quick as I can because there was a lot to talk about. Scott McTominay, Civir. I wanted to ask you about him because you've always had an opinion of McTominay. You're happy for him to be a squad player, right? I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you like what he brings, the attitude, the goals off the bench, etc. Fulham are expecting to make another offer. That's according to Sky Sports because their first offer, I think, was like 17 million, got rejected. Is it better to keep him as a squad player, or is it worth selling him and reinvesting the money?
I'll be honest about Scott McTominay. I always get onto you guys about being like, passionate and romantic and all that.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, that's how I feel about McTominay. I just feel like I hate to use the word like, his DNA and all that kind of stuff, but he is.
Is that you, Ollie?
He is.
Oh, like me,
He is, man. I mean, I don't know about you guys. I remember when he was in the academy, all that kind of stuff, and to see him get to this level, it wouldn't hurt to just have him in the corner, like in the dressing room kind of stuff. But I do get it. Like, we have to get ruthless with some of these signings, and he saved us last season. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
He saved us lots of times.
After the Brentford game, a lot of people were like, I will never say a bad word about Scott McTominay again.
Never, yeah. And here's the thing about Scott McTominay. And one of the reasons why I want him as a squad player is that he changes the game. I don't want to see him starting, but if we need a goal, he's one of the best players to bring on there because he's so unpredictable. Players don't know who, am I supposed to mark him? He's one of them ones. He can be very unassuming, but he has an instinct for being when he's in that box. And he's one of them ones. So if we can afford to keep him just, as a squad player to come on, change the game, yeah, why not? But if we get a good price for him, yeah, sell him, man. We need the cash. We need the money. Fulham, how much are they offering?
Well, the first bid was 17, so I'm guessing the second one's going to be 20, innit? Something around there. And that's why I asked the question, because there's two sides to this for me personally, and I'll try to be quick on this. One is you get pure profit for him, so then they can reinvest that money, but then who are you going to get for 20 million quid who's going to make an impact in the squad, who will bring double figures like Scott does? And he's also pretty competent. He's probably one of our best attackers aerially to bring off the bench as well. So I don't know who you replace. If they've got an idea and they're like, we can go get, I don't know, Yusuf Fofana. The news got reported last night, 30 million euros. More of a hybrid. You can start games. You can be alongside Kobe. If they could do something like that, then maybe I'd be open to it. But I don't mind keeping him, McTominay.
I don't mind. I honestly don't mind. Like, he's one of the best strikers of the ball I've seen at United in a very long time. Like, he strikes that ball. Like, but then the thing about it is, like, if Man United remember when we went to inquire for what's this Scott McTominay doppelganger at Newcastle?
Oh, his brothers.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Him. We don't even remember his name, and they charged us 50 mil. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Oh, his name. I can see his face. Longstaff.
Thank you. Him.
Fucking hell. Jesus Christ. Was it Sean Longstaff? Or was it his
Sean.
brother? I can't remember.
It is. I don't know his brother's name. But they asked for 50 mil when we went to buy him.
Oh, God, yeah.
Right? Do you remember that?
Can you imagine if we spent that? Oh.
So, no, but the point I'm making is he a better player than Scott McTominay? Like,
I mean, I'm sure Newcastle fans would try and tell you that he is, but...
I'm just saying, so if he's going for 50, then what is Scott McTominay going for? Do you understand? So when it's us trying to buy a player, there's all these massive fees. You understand? When we're trying to sell one, they're lowballing us. Like, they can fuck off.
Well, we turned down a
We'll keep
bid
him.
last season from West Ham for 30 million, I believe. He's just gone and
Oh,
scored
yeah.
double figures for us. So how has his price got even lower? That makes no
I don't
sense
know.
whatsoever.
That's crazy.
No
How old
sense.
is he? He's like Rashford's age,
27.
isn't he? Yeah.
He is.
So that's still, you know.
No, it's not
But
even
yeah,
his
just
prime yet.
just to so we don't like tail off or anything. Yeah, I mean, it has to make sense financially. Like, I wouldn't want us to like sell him for like, you know, less than 20. It has to make sense financially. And if we get a good offer, even if we can't get someone, at least it adds to our transfer, you know, kitty, and then we can go out and get someone else. Do you know anything about this Fofana guy? I don't know him. I've heard about him, but
I had to admit a couple of days ago, probably. I mean, I'd seen bits of him literally for a little bit for France in the Euros, but I went and had a look because I was interested to see what type of player he was, and he seems interesting. He's not. I was speaking to Shrez about this yesterday. He's not a pure six. I don't think there's many on the market at the moment that are like your Rodri, for example, who are just going to sit and protect that kind of lone spot. He's more of a hybrid who can do both sides of the game. Whether he's going to be a Bakayoko, like what happened at Chelsea, or if he's going to be a Kante, you just don't know, do you, really, until you buy the player. So that's as much as I know on that guy, as much as I know. But the price is going, the teams that are interested, it could be a gamble that's worth going for, in my opinion. I think whoever you get in that midfield position, whether it's Agate, Fofana, Rabiot, you're going to have some form of an issue. And I would go back to, you always allude to Ten Hag's tactics in his first season, the 4-2-3-1.
Yeah.
I would prefer to go back to that if you could, keep Kobe and Ugarte, let's say, a little bit deeper and connected rather than a lone six. These guys push up and you've got all this fucking ground to cover. Because I just think even Ugarte is someone who he covers a lot of ground, but he also is a bit over enthusiastic at times and he leaves space so that's going to be a weakness instantly, whoever you bring in. That's my worry with that position.
Everyone does that now. Everyone does the 4-2-3-1 now. Deep 4-2-3-1. Everyone's kind of doing it now. Even Arsenal are doing it. Like, and that's kind of like the direction football is going. Obviously, with depending on the team, there's a few changes here and there. Like in attack and defense, you might change. The fullbacks might come into the midfield and stuff like that. But yeah, everyone does that now. I'd love to see that, to be honest. I'd love to see that. But yeah, what about this Zubimendi guy? I heard about this, and I'm hoping that we go for him, but I haven't. It's just kind of gone cold.
Zubimendi's more of like who we just alluded to then, of like a Rodri, right? You saw when he got taken off in the Euros, Zubimendi replaced him, and there was just no difference whatsoever. Very, very good on the ball, receiving it under pressure. He's more of a technical Spanish player, what you usually get. But then with that, you don't get the Kante side of it. Like, I'm not saying he's not good at duels or anything, but the ball winning, aggressive. Right. You don't get that side of it. So whichever way you go, that's my point. Whichever player you buy, you're going to lose out on something. So it's what type of player Ten Hag wants, and I think he would. I don't know about you personally. I think he would lean more towards Ugarte. Like South American.
Is he? Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I love the idea of him, but isn't he like 70 mil?
Well, that's what's being put out there brief from PSG side, that they want 70 million euros, I think it is, but we want over 38 million pounds. So I don't know. I don't know if he's, because they're trying to get money towards João Neves. That's what they want.
And I'm sure they bought him for like 65 or 70 or something.
They did. They did from Sporting. Yeah, correct.
They're trying to get back what they spent, basically.
Yeah, but they have Vitinha, don't they? Who's again, I don't know if you watched him close in the Euro, fucking phenomenal player, top midfielder. So it's obvious why Ugarte can't get in there. So it could turn out to be a good deal, but it's just risky with any of them, I think. So I hope they do the due diligence, and I trust.
The good thing about this, I know that with everything that's happening now, we don't have fucking Richard Arnold and John.
Yeah, exactly. Otherwise, it'd be Rabiot now on £500,000 a week.
Honestly, I don't know about you, but I get PTSD of like, oh my god, and then I remember, oh yeah, we've got Barada. It's like, okay, come on.
Relax. We should be okay. I would love to stay and chat, and there's so many more things I could talk about, but I am going out for food, and I've just realised the time. So apologies for people for cutting it slightly short. It's still been 45 minutes, to be fair.
Yeah.
So, you know, we've covered quite a bit. Thank you to everyone in the chat. Sorry if I missed any of your comments. Please do smash a like on the video for us and hit that subscribe button, and send to a friend as well. Send the channel to a friend if they love football content. Thank you to Civir for joining me as well. Absolute legend as always. Always love doing shows with you. And yeah, and me and Civir, me and Jimmy, we'll see you guys in the next one. Yeah. See you in a bit.
Mick and Jimmy.